welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Marsha T. If you are new here, I've been doing makeup for the past 14 years. I'm also a Sephora employee, and this year, like last year, we have our Rouge Sale recommendations. So here's my recommendation. First thing first, grab your choice of bevy because this video is going to be super long. Be ready to take those screenshots. Be ready for the recommendations because I'm not gonna stop. So if you are ready to build your cart, I'm sure you already have your list ready and you're like, I don't need more products. Hey, you never go into Sephora to buy one product. You go in for one and you end up with 5. So might as well add some new ones and some more. So keep on watching, stay tuned. We're gonna start off with skin prep, primers, everything that you can add to your cart. So first thing first, you will start with your skin prep, right? You're like, where do I start? What do I start with, right? My personal favorite is the Rhode Glazing Mist right here. And for once, Rhode products are added to the sale. If I'm not mistaken, that's something I've been trying to confirm. If they're excluded from the sale or if they're part of it, why not you give it a try? Add this to your list for sure. It is more like a watered down version of the milky toner if that's something that has been breaking you out. We have received a lot of returns, I'm not gonna lie, but that's only because it doesn't work for a lot of skin type. Reduce the amount of serums you use prior or later after that toner. So if you do not like the toner or it didn't work for you, this is a great product to add. I like to use it this way, that when I wash my face and I'm ready to do my makeup, I will apply this product and then I will go ahead with my toner right here. Mind you, this is my second bottle. This is the only thing that saved my skin from breaking out, considering we do get to try a lot of serums, a lot of new products on ourselves before we recommend it to you guys. So yeah, I do recommend this product right here. Again, the texture is super nice. I feel like you can dilute most of your foundation with it. I like to use this for my tints. And then it does give you that glowy glass-like skin like that. You can do it like this, or you can, you know, spray that on top of this before you go ahead with your moisturizer. You can see how that's glowing already. And then imagine you doing that on like right on top of this one. So I'm gonna spray it on my skin like that. That went into my mouth. Great. Not the best angle, right? And then that's how your skin should look. Now that we're gonna stop here. Now that you have applied the toners and your skin looks like this, you can go ahead with moisturizer. I do have oily skin, but my skin wants something super moisturizing to grip on. I do not believe in gripping primers. I've never used those. My clients do come in with that and they're like, hey, we want it. And I tell them that, hey, if your makeup gets lifted, it's only the T-zone you want to use it for, not the entire face. So your entire face should be moisturized, like nicely moisturized. I do like to use the barrier butter. This alone saved my skin last winter, and I remember getting it from the Rhode website because I knew this is the only thing that's gonna save me. I do get dermatitis flare-ups here and there, and then it was my first winter here in Chicago, so I was like, you know what, we need something to restore my skin barrier, and this was the only thing that helped. So this is on top while the toner and the mist has settled. You can see your skin is still gonna be super glowy, and then you're gonna go ahead with this moisturizer and put this on. Your skin should look like this. So you can stop here if you want to. You're like, hey, I do not want to go ahead with the glowy primer or anything of that sort, but I am a little extra like that. I like to go a little more glowy. I like to look like Tin Man in my videos, or just like in general in real life too. If you see me, you're gonna see me enjoying that extra glow. I've been like this since 2016, and I was known for applying too much highlighter. That still lives on, not as much as I used to apply then, but this is how I like my skin to look. So this is dry. This is how it looks with the primers, like the skincare to use as primers. You can stop here if you want to. If you're like, Marsha, give us recommendation for something that is not Rhode. Difficult for me, someone who has been using it for approximately 2 years. 2 years, yeah, I've been using Rhode for 2 years now, so that's that. But if you were like, hey, I do not like the Rhode toner for myself, what do I do? You go ahead with the Dr. Jart Ceramidin toner. This has almost the same texture as the Rhode one, but this does not have those zinc, copper, you know, minerals that have been breaking people out. Looks like that. And then when you blend that into the skin, it is more lightweight than the Rhode one. It's not as milky as that one, but gives you the same feel, same look, like that. And then if you were to say that, hey, I do not want to go ahead with the Rhode barrier cream, good, go for the Tatcha one right here. It's almost the same thing. I didn't like the water cream, to be honest. It was heavily fragrance for me, and the texture was very gel-like. It wasn't helping me, but I was so happy when I saw that they came out with the milky one, and then I've been using it since it came. And then again, this is also fragrance, yeah, but it's not as strong as the actual water cream. So this is what it looks like. And then when you blend that into the skin, like so, here you go. Your skin looks almost the same, identical. So if you're like, hey, I love the Rhode glazed skin effect that people have been enjoying and raving about, and you're like, how do I achieve that without using Rhode? You can do that with the Dr. Jart toner, and then you can use the Tatcha cream on top, and you will get the same effect. Like, it's identical. You cannot tell me which side is Rhode, which side is like a whole different routine. I do like to use this occasionally, so this was like the perfect time to get the Tower 28 SOS spray. You must be like, hey, it's not summer, we're like here in fall, and we probably don't need that spray. You still need it, honey. If your skin breaks into rashes and you're like, hey, I am traveling, I have rosacea, I have acne, or my holiday carbs are showing on my face, no problem. This is the one thing that's going to save your skin from breaking out. It also restores the skin barrier, but if you feel sweaty, you feel like I have dryness on my hands, or you feel like, hey, I got rash from wearing cardigans, common, you can use the Tower 28 SOS spray on top. I like to use it on my neck, I like to use it on my arms, I like to use it underarms. I will use this spray almost everywhere. And guess what? I've also used this to disinfect the Chicago red line seats because disgusting. But it works for that reason too. So if you want to keep this spray in your bag, you most definitely can. I've done that, and I recommend you do the same. I feel like my other stuff that I have been enjoying quite a lot is also this Drunk Elephant Gold drops. Now see, like how I mentioned I love looking like a Tin Man, this is another thing that I'm gonna put on the roadside because that's what I typically do. So I'm gonna show that to you, how it looks when you apply it on top. There you go. Your skin looks more juicy, more hydrated, more refreshed, and almost like we have applied liquid highlighter, which we have not. This is more of a serum. You will not see any reflex in here, but here's something I've experienced with this product. I do see some pilling when I do it on my skin with the Rhode skin prep. I can do it with the other stuff and I'm still not going to see any pilling, but on the Rhode side I do experience some pilling when I layer it. Perhaps that's because there is difference of skin, the texture that's there, that's the reason why. But it's up to you if you want to. And I almost missed it out. I have been using these nonstop. Like, this is my second one. I've been using the eye patches. I did that before I did my makeup today, and they do depuff. They are pretty good, but you want to keep it longer than 10 to 20 minutes. You want to keep it maybe 30 or 40 minutes, or forget about it that you even have it on. But these are really good. If you were to ask me about sunscreens that I've been loving for the past, I think I would say few months actually would be this Kiehl's collagen one. I do enjoy this one. If you were to ask me for a mineral sunscreen, I love this ultraviolet sunscreen. I have given this to so many clients, and a lot of clients that came into my store and they would be like, but we are a guy and we do not want to use anything pink in packaging. We want mineral sunscreen that works for athletes. Great, this is the one. It works, and if you don't know how the texture is, it looks like that. And I'm going to take it on the side where I did not apply the Rhode products. Oops, I took a lot. And when you blend it out, it leaves no cast, but it gives you the most healthy looking skin, like that. And then like so. So this is my favorite sunscreen, but there's one more that was given to us in training that I loved. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's YSE, whatever you want to call it. It's still a brand new brand at Sephora, and their sunscreen is pretty good. I think I'm going to show it here by my thumb where I did not apply any product, like right here. So if you blend it out, it gives you this beautiful glow. And it does not make your skin look like feel greasy. A lot of sunscreens do that after a short amount of time, but this one doesn't, and it's like a beautiful texture when you put it on, and it goes really well under makeup. We have discussed our skincare for primer. These are the actual primers I use. I will use something that is still glowy. It doesn't matter how much skincare you have used, how much, you know, sunscreen you have used. It's okay if your primers have them too. My personal favorites have been Ciele primers. The Ciele primers, they only have one primer. I'm sorry about that. So this one is my favorite right here. This one comes with SPF 30. It is prime and protect, but it also blurs the skin texture. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to use something that is separate, I just want to use one, this one is a good one to start off with, but I did not use that today. This is a cult favorite and classic, the olive oil filter, but I only use it if I'm heading out, or if I'm like, you know what, I want to look like Tin Man. I just want to look like Tin Man, but I do not want to wear foundation, and I'm just going to put concealer on top. That's when I use this, but I haven't been reaching out for it, but I do like the finish of it. It's just like very, let's say, red carpety. And we're not walking the red carpet every single day, unfortunately. My other favorite is the Danessa Myrex Universal Balm right here. I love this thing. I have the Radiant one. Again, like I mentioned, I don't mind looking like a Tin Man. That's something I prefer. But this one doesn't give you that kind of look, to be honest. It's more like so. The Danessa Balm, however, it's not glittery, it's not shimmery, it's just like the right amount of glow. I do like the texture of it and how my makeup looks, but there's another one that's right here. This is the Refy Blur and Hydrate. I like this one over the other ones that they have to offer because of the metal applicator too. If you have never seen it in person, it looks like this. When you apply it, you get the cooling effect. I love this one when it's like summer, it's hot outside, and I need that cooling depuffing effect. But saving the best ones for last, the one that I used today, I used the Saie Illuminator in the shade Star Glow. I enjoy this one quite a lot. It looks like this, like that, and then so it's not just for priming. You can use that as highlighter too after you put everything on. So it's like a multi-purpose thing, and then you can mix it into a lot of your own products. You can change the texture of it however you prefer it. I topped it off with the iconic London, the Underglow Balm, the Underglow Blurring Prime Base. A lot of words, but this in general, it takes the texture away but also makes your skin glowy. It's like all in one. Something I'm going to show you guys. It's like that, and then blend that for you to see. Like here you see that slight glow, but it literally blurs the skin and you'll be able to see. But I like a little bit more. I do have larger pores around my nose area, so I use the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer only in my T-zone, so around the nose, the upper lip, the chin, and just this area of my cheek where the larger pores are. That's what we use today. I do this concoction every single time I do a full glam, and to be honest, that's like my day-to-day thing because I have to present myself. Working in retail means having half of the stuff I'm going to recommend you guys on my face to sell and for people to see how that will look for them. So these are the primers that I recommend you get. My personal favorite from here is the Saie one, the Iconic London, and then the Ciele Prime and Protect. The Ciele one, if you are one of those that is running out of the house and you're like, I'm gonna forget my sunscreen, I'm gonna forget the essential stuff, that is the one thing that is still going to protect you, protect your skin, and then you can top it off with the foundation or tints of your preference. Now talking about foundations, this is my whole complexion routine right here. I will show each and every product one by one. This is hands down the best tint you can try. It's mineral sunscreen base. It is Tint and Protect from Ciele. You get SPF 50 in here. The only enemy for this specific skin tint is your white t-shirt, your white clothes. Do not wear them. Do not wear crisp white blouse and white jeans and expect it to not drop, because the clumsy person that I am, I dropped it on a very important day that I was heading out for. And I remember I spent one whole hour doing laundry and fixing my clothes instead of heading out of the house. But hey, that's a me problem. I'm clumsy at the end of the day. But this is non-comedogenic as well. So if you have acne, that's what I tell my clients too. And you're like, hey, I cannot wear Ceramide, glowy skin tints, or if you want more coverage, that's the skin tint to go for because it offers you that. I have it on today. This is what I typically do on day-to-day basis if I'm like scheduled to work, let's say 9:30 in the morning, and I'm coming back home at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or so. My skin still looks the same, and that's the reason why I enjoy that tint quite a lot. My other favorite tint at the moment is the Gucci Glow Skin Tint. The only thing that I did is I grabbed my summer shade, and I think I'm gonna take it out in summers only. But the only reason why I even have it for this Rouge Sale is because by itself the price point is super high. So if you were to give this a try, now is the time to add it to your cart. This looks like a little glowy, but the texture is more like, you know, those glossy lip balms when you squeeze it out and you put it, it has a blurry texture. It's like the true balm in a liquid form. Imagine this in a balmy texture, and your skin still looks smooth, it still looks blurred and evened out, and it's lightweight. So if you're like, hey, I want a light wash of something without it being extra glowy, extra oily looking or greasy looking, this is a great tint, and now is the time to add it to your cart. The shade that I use is Very Medium 24, and it looks like this, if you can tell. It's just a little tan at the moment, or I can't even tell right now in this lighting. But when I normally wear it, it is a little too dark on me. I do like the Armani one right here. This one is light 4. Again, it's a long wear tint, more like the Ciele one. This one is a little more hydrating than the Ciele one. So I'm gonna blend that out for you to see. Again, I picked up the wrong shade. That's the me problem again. But you can see how glowy that looks. To be honest, I would try to get more use out of it right now in the winter than in summer, because my oily skin cannot handle it unless I've used a gripping primer. But regardless of what my skin type is and how it tolerates a lot of products, I feel like it's a great addition to your tints. Speaking about tints, do I have one more? No, just one last. It's the Merit one right here. I use this all summer, and you can clearly see the dent right here. Yes, you use very less if you're using a brush. If you're using a sponge, which I did initially, and that's when this half done took place, my sponge soaked up most of the serum out of this tint and I saw splotches. But when I shifted it to a brush is when I started loving this. This is hands down the best liquid tint. If you, for example, have an oily skin and you're like, hey, I can never try the Hourglass tint because you think it's going to be super glowy, oily on the skin, you feel like it's going to slip around, and you're like, hey, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to buy that for myself, for example. This is where this tint comes in. It gives you the same look, same finish without being greasy. You can use this, for example, let me show that to you. Like, look at that, and then look at this. You can't even tell that I applied it, but I promise you it's the healthiest looking skin once you put this on. This one too comes with sunscreen, so you get SPF 45, which in my opinion is high enough for you to use if you are going for tints. Now that we are talking about foundations, this is something to keep in mind, that I'm going to try different mediums. My personal favorite changes season to season, what I want to do that specific day, what kind of look I'm going for. Every single day, if I were to use something, it's either the Ciele tint or I use the Tatcha, the Balm Duo instead of the liquid foundation. I have used and abused this product every single time I head to work, and they're like, oh hey, it's holiday season, you gotta do a little more. This is what I put on. I will put the balm and then I do the powder on top. I don't use the powder from here. I use the regular ones that I know will make my makeup last. But let me show you how this looks. I'm gonna put it on this side of my hand so you can see this next to the tint we have applied earlier. Go. You can look that this is the foundation and this is the tint right here. It gives you the perfect amount of coverage. It took all the greens away from my skin, all that you could see here. And then this is the tint right here, and this is the foundation right here. I do wear it quite a lot. I'm a little late to the party is what I'm going to say. I know this has been out for quite some time, but it is the most underrated complexion product, I feel like. And something that the brand reps that was at our store, they told us that Patrick Ta himself uses this complexion product on almost everybody he meets. Everybody he's doing makeup on, he's going to use the balm instead of the liquid foundation, even though that foundation itself is a beautiful finish, a beautiful glowy, serumy, plump looking foundation, which I'm going to show you shortly. I showed the Patrick Ta one. The next one is the Dior Stick Foundation. I know it's a cult favorite, but for the right reason. This one, it's buildable. You can build the coverage, but more so, I feel like it's a universal product. Like, you can build the coverage. You do not, like, let's say you're going to a vacation and you're like, which foundation do I keep or which tint do I keep? And you don't, let's say you do not have a tint in your collection. You can take this stick foundation, use like a primer like the Saie one or the Glowy drops from Drunk Elephant, and you can put this on the back of your hand, like roll this up, put it on like that, put a drop of that primer, mix it. You have created your own tint at that point. You do not need the Rhode toner to do so, but if you have it, great. You can do the Hailey Bieber routine where you put 2 drops of the toner on the back of your hand and use the stick foundation. I have used this as concealer. I have used this for complexion, and I feel like it's the right amount of coverage for your foundation. Same thing goes for the House Labs. My entire life I've struggled to find the foundation shade where they're like, you gotta get a neutral, you gotta get a warm tone because you are a pale olive. I have no pink in my skin, and this is that one foundation where the tone is exactly my color. And the way this wears, I remember using MAC like years ago, and then at that point it was either Armani or the MAC stuff, and then there was NARS, and then there were more. But now I see myself not reaching out for the other ones, but this one more so. Let me show that. It's gonna look a little dark. That's because I've stepped into my winter shade, but this is how the foundation looks. It's like blurry by itself. I know they don't have a primer yet. I hope they come out with one soon, but this one goes really well with any primer you have. Silicone based, water based, and then it works for all the skin types. That's something I've seen. It's also non-comedogenic. That's a plus factor. So if you have acne, you're like, which foundation do I go for these days? This is a good one to get for your collection. The next one that we're going to go for is the liquid one from Peptide right here. I'm going to compare this with the NARS Light Reflecting and show that to you. I'm going to put one dropper on this side. I'm going to put the NARS one right here on the other for you to see. If you see these two right here, this one is Peptide and this one is NARS. You can see right here, and then this one right here. So the NARS one is more watery, whereas the Peptide one is more like a balm. Again, great foundations if you feel like, hey, this sale season I need to get complexion products. If you were to pick one, I would say the Peptide one has more coverage than the NARS one, and the NARS one just oxidizes a little. It's not entirely, but just a little. So if you were to get something, go maybe a shade lighter, or try it in store, get some samples now so you know which one you want to get for the sale season. Last but not least in foundation is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Natural Finish Foundation. Again, I picked up the wrong color for my training product. The other one, the regular one, was 7C for me, and I was like, you know what, for this one too I'm gonna be 7C, but I was wrong. I love the finish of it, but I do not like the color that I picked out for myself. That's a me problem again. That's what I do to myself. I always end up going for the wrong colors. Actually, the color's working out. Damn. But yeah, look. This is the natural finish. It's a little matte. It's not going to be as glowy as the ones that I showed earlier, but when you put it on the skin, it's like as if you applied, if you remember the professional primer from Benefit, that's the kind of look it's going to give when you will put this on the face, like as if you put that primer all over the face and then put the foundation on. Great for mature skin if you have it and you're like, hey, I do not want my skin texture to show, I do not want my, you know, details to show when I see someone in person or when I'm going out, even though there's no harm in it. Own them, do not feel discouraged by it. A lot of times I do get clients, they're like, what do I do about these eye bags and lines? And like, hey, I'm not a doctor. Makeup can only do a little bit of it. If you have skin texture, your skin is changing, it's okay. Please accept it. Do not expect the primer and foundation to change it entirely the way it is under makeup. It's just gonna look a little more enhanced, but nothing more than that. So that's a PSA for whoever comes in and shops and expects us to do a job of someone with a syringe and putting in fillers. We cannot do that, unfortunately. But moving on, we're gonna try some concealer. If you see a difference in the way I'm filming, my camera battery was dying on me back and forth, and I was like, I do not have the patience to do this again and again and again. So here we are, just to talk about our concealers. The first concealer that I'm going to talk about, something that I have used today, is the Tower 28 concealer right here. It is one of the best ones that I have tried so far. I feel like every single time I put it, people around me are going to ask me like, oh, which concealer are you wearing? That concealer looks so good. How does your under eye look so airbrush? And I'm like, this $22 bad boy here. So if you put like your discount on, you can save quite a lot. The other cult favorite and my personal favorite is also the Huda Beauty Cotton Candy. This one is like the perfect highlighty under eye shade that you're like, you know what, my skin looks airbrush. It looks like someone face apped me. I know that's like a biggest claim, that you have that on and someone goes like, oh, she face apped herself. I promise it's not fake sap. It's this concealer right here. And also the Easy Blur foundation. Whoever uses that, you guys are so lucky you get to try that. I unfortunately cannot because I'm allergic to niacinamide. So if that's something that you have never tried and you're not allergic to niacinamide the way I am, please give that a try. That is one of the best foundation that is out there, but I unfortunately cannot try that without breaking out. On that note, the third concealer that I've been loving is the Coffee concealer right here. No, hold on, right here. OG YouTuber ways, because my phone camera is just going to do this to me all the time. But I use the color Ice Berry. This is the more beigey neutral concealer. So let me show that to you on the back of my hand, like so. There you go. It's like the best concealer that you can apply if you are confused that, hey, am I a warm or am I a neutral? Then something that Hailey Bieber put me on was the Lancome concealer. I use the shade 120, and this is the, I'm wearing something lightweight, but I'm not comfortable enough to leave my house without having concealer on. So this is the other concealer you can have. The look. So this is the Coffee and this is the Lancome right here. For some, it would also be the Hourglass. I do like it, but that creases a lot under my eye. I only have that in the mini. I want to try a different color, something that is not as brightening as this color right here. I have the color Silk. I love it, but only when I'm doing a full beat. I want to be 2016 makeup, unrecognizable. That's when I wear this one, because again, I got the lighter shade to brighten under eye. My favorite other than that is also the Natasha Denona right here. Similar to the Hourglass one, but a little more, less mousse-like, more serum-like. The Hourglass one is a little mousse-like, and I'm gonna put this right here. So it's right here. I don't know if you can tell. There you go. And then lastly, I have the House Labs. The shade I use is 05 for brightening, and then I use number 11 if I'm like not wearing foundation and I just want to put a little bit of concealer and I'm like, I'm gonna be out of the house, so I'm not doing more than this. This is it right here. Should look like that. So side by side, that's Natasha on this side, and then this is House. So you can compare them. There are our concealers. Again, now is the best time to stock up on whichever you want. The NARS one, I used to wear. I know that's a cult favorite as well, but I no longer wear that because I feel like with the market growing every single day with new complexion products, these are the ones that I personally enjoy. Now, as far as powders are concerned, I typically have this way of applying them. I know everyone has their own preference, the way they set their makeup in place, but what I used to do is I would go in with the, let's say, the Huda Beauty translucent powder. I've been using it for years. I've never put it down since. I used to use the shade Pound Cake, and now I use the shade Cupcake instead. This is my personal favorite powder. You can use whichever you want, but if you want that Instagram built-in filter look where you're like, I want to feel confident in my skin, where I feel like I am not wearing any filter in my videos, and this is the powder to go for. Typically what I would do is if I have concealer under my eye, I would just like go in with the, let's say, a puff like this one. Don't mind it being dirty because I did beat my face with it before me yapping and explaining what I use, but this is the puff that I would use, and I would go ahead with the powder, tap it in, pack it on me, and be done with. Time passed, then I would take it from here, and then I would take this part of my hand. It's also like there's this part of your hand where if you tap it, you take the excess powder out, and when you want to use it for the other side of your face, you go back here and use it over here. That's one way of doing it. But because I have oily skin, my
personal favorite way of applying it is that I go ahead with the pressed powder here. I have used Charlotte Tilbury today as well, and that's how I set my under eye. And then after this, if you're like, hey, I want to brighten a little, you can go ahead with the Huda Beauty powder. That's what I typically do when I want it to be a little more full coverage, a little more deceiving, that I have like under eye fillers. That's when I end up doing that. But today I've only done Charlotte Tilbury. My other personal favorite is also the Cosa setting powder. I like to use the color Candy. That's the one that I love using if I am using it to brighten my complexion. For the rest of the face, right here, here, and this area, like T-zone, and this where I do not want it to look so powdered down, I don't want to entirely take the shine away, is when I use the Saie one right here. I know this is fairly new, but this one, the way I can best describe it is that this one is powdery, has talc. No, does it have talc? No, it is talc free. Sorry about that. It's a baked formula. When you swipe it, you can barely see it on my finger. And when you do see it, like for instance right here, you can see that little bit of shine right there. Then when I'm going to put it on my skin, you're going to see a little bit of that shine, like that. So that's one thing that I'm going to say, that if you end up going for the Saie powder, or you want to go for the one size baked pressed powder, remember to put it here, 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 here on your T-zone. And what you'll do is take the oils away. You will set your makeup in place, and then your skin is still going to look like skin. The best way to go about it is that you use a translucent powder and then go with the finishing powder to put all over. And that's something that's going to make you look more full coverage, evened out, but also airbrushed, if that makes sense. But these are some of my favorite powders. I feel like they are, like, it's a decent collection if you want to collect all of them right now in the sale season. You do you. I would too, but I have enough. That's what I keep telling myself. But it's not fun working there when you are always in the mood to shop. We're not going to talk about bronzers. Bronzers are, again, so personal. Some people prefer the orange effect of bronzers. I do not like that. I want my bronzer to have a little bit of olive to it. Again, I'm a pale olive. I do not like anything to have that muddy orange cast, and for that reason, I typically use the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer in the shade Medium. I like using this every single day, and that's exactly what I have used today. I do enjoy the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzing and Shaping Serum right here. I can use this as a medium to deepen any foundation shade, because again, it comes with this pump right here, but you also get the doe foot applicator in here, which you can use to sculpt however you want to. This sometimes goes a little warm on me, I'm not gonna lie, but the balm is that one thing that is foolproof. If you have 5 minutes, you're like, I'm running late, what do I use on my face? That is the one thing that is never going to disappoint you. More like a new release is this House Labs Precise Sculpting Balm right here. If you've never tried it, please give it a try in stores. It's something I hands down love. I got the shade Sculpt. The other ones that I had tried in store were a little too light for me, or for my preference, I guess. I wanted something more like a mixture of warm and cool, so I ended up going for this color right here. Looks like that. There you go. And if you see it up close, looks like this. So they are a little more creamier, a little more like a mousse than like their typical glass finish cream formula that you have seen with the blush. I kind of expected it to be that texture, but I'm happy with what they've given me. This is similar to, I would say, those contouring sticks that are going super viral from Victoria Beckham, and then who else? Smashbox? This is similar to the Smashbox one, to be honest. So if you miss that formula and you want that for yourself, this is that. bronzing or sculpting stick, you can definitely try this sale season for sure. If you were to go for a powder bronzer, this is the best one right now. This is the House Labs bronzed umber. Again, like I mentioned, I don't do orange bronzers, I do pale olives. This is that pale olive for me. um Pale olive, no, just like olive tone bronzer is pale olive is me. I use this as a topper instead of a bronzer by itself. So this is how the powder looks. Again, it's not orange. A lot of the bronzers I have tried are orange, and these are the only ones that work for me or have worked for me. So if you want to get a powder bronzer for yourself this sale season, it's definitely the House Labs one. So now that we're going to talk about blushes, this is a little embarrassing. Oh, but I take my blushes very seriously. I have been taking them seriously since 2016. I remember when people were putting just bronzers on their face and highlighters, I was still packing on blush. Do I still have those somewhere? I absolutely do, but these days I've been enjoying the House Labs blush sticks, the Rhode ones, and I have one specific blush that I use as a topper as well. My personal way of applying is that I like the House Labs one first. I will go ahead with the Glassy Ginger, and I'm going to take that on my skin. With the brush, I like to use the Makeup by Mario F4 brush to apply it, and then I go ahead with this color right here. And then just remember, I know when you first watch them, they look very pigmented, but once blended, they look super sheared out, like the Merit ones. And then I go ahead with another blush on top, which is the Rhode Freckle. That's something I like using when I'm using something neutral. I switch between freckle and tan lines if I am using Glassy Ginger as a base blush that I have done today. If you can see, I like using something that has a little bit of something, and this is exactly what I went for. A little kick, a little bit of more pink to it. And this is Freckle, but I'm gonna blend that out for you to see. So here are the two colors side by side. So Glassy Ginger is a little more beigey pink, and Freckle has that corally orange tone to it. But this is what I do. When I put both the colors together, I go ahead with the Dior highlighter in the shade Rosy. I like to use this on top. Again, I dot it on the palm of my hand, and then I take my brush and then I just shear it out and put it all over my face. So that just makes the whole face glowy. Again, we've taken that glow away when we were putting powders, right? So to bring that back, you go ahead with the highlighter, and I'm just gonna blend that out for you to see how that looks. Look. So you have that rosy glow, you have the Glassy Ginger, and then you have Freckle. I do use tan lines instead of Freckle. Again, it depends with what I'm doing on my eyes. If I'm doing just like a basic eyeliner, I will go ahead with tan lines, and I might as well skip the Dior. Or I'm just gonna go with the Dior first and then go with tan lines on top. But those are not the only blushes I use. I've recently caved in and got myself the Patrick Ta She's blushing shade instead, and that's because I use it on my clients every single time they walk in. They're like, oh hey, we want something that we can make work with all of our outfits. And so this is the one blush that does really well if you're like, I'm not buying one single blush formula, a powder separate and then a cream separate. So this is the one way you can get both. And mind you, this is not the only blush I own. I have an embarrassing amount of blushes at this point. One of my other favorites is She's That Girl. I feel like they're gonna make a sound when I leave it on my table, but never mind if you hear anything. Sorry about that. This is the She's That Girl for you guys to see. It's not as pink as it looks here. It's a little more corally pink. Again, works great if you are one of those people that is like, oh hey, I do not want to use anything that is cool tone pink. Is just like the right amount of pink that I can wear with all my clothes. My most used blush from Patrick Ta is She's Seductive. This is my ride or die when I am so confused with which blush I'm gonna use. Like, it's beat to death. You can like literally see. I have not hit the pan yet. I'm glad I haven't. With the amount of times I use it, I should be hitting the pan soon, but I haven't. Thank God. But this is one of my favorite ones. And then I have She's the Moment. So this is something one of the brand reps told us, that is that She's That Moment blush from Patrick Ta is the exact blush he uses on Gigi and Bella Hadid. So this is that pop up, something that he puts on their cheek, and it just gives that perfectly flushed look on their cheek. And all this time I thought it would be a pink, but it's not. It's a corally orange. Needless to say, I feel like I will yap 30 minutes straight if I start explaining why I use certain shades from Rhode. But my top contenders from them is Sleepy Girl, Freckle, Tan Lines, and Toasted Teddy. Today I use Freckle, but I use all of the shades almost every single day in rotation, so I'm not going to go into detail about those because, again, it's like a personal preference. Use whichever you feel comfortable using. I do have the Saie powder one here in Mia. I love this one if I'm going for an all matte look and I have nothing as the base layer of my blush. I will go ahead with Mia, and I'm going to put this on the side for you to see. It's more like a true tone pink, but with a little bit of shimmer to it. Like that. Like it's here in the corner for you to see. And that's pretty much it for the blushes. Actually, who am I kidding with? They're pretty much not done yet. I know I said we're pretty much done with blushes, but we're not. I do have the Hourglass one too that I use, but again, it's so pigmented that I have to be careful with how much I apply. Again, I do take my blush blindness seriously. The only thing I hate is having long nails and taking this out. It's a bit of a struggle, I'm gonna say. And then you can poke the bottom if you have long nails or you get acrylics done, so that's the one issue I face with this. But they are so pigmented if you enjoy blushes of this kind. Look at the one on the bottom right here. That's the one here is the Hourglass one. And then I do use the Huda Beauty ones. I feel like I have to be in the mood to use them. This is the Ube cream. I love this. We are so near the winter kiss, the purpley pinks, the Dior rosy pink kind of phase that we all have around this time of the year. So I think I'm gonna be using this soon. This is one of the unique blushes I have here. Here you go. And that's pretty much it for blushes. Cheek palettes is a different group of things, so that is separate. If you thought I stopped here with the blushes, you're wrong. This is a powder blush combo that I usually set my cream blushes with. This time I have used the Hourglass Ambient palette in the shade Dear. So as far as highlighters are concerned, I have narrowed it down to the ones that I use the most. It's the Westman Atelier, I think it's called Nectar. That's the one that I love. I have a mini that I use. I have not touched the full size that I got in my training product from Sephora. And then this is the one thing that I will top off if I want extra glow. It looks like that. Like the true balm you can use on top of your blush. It has the pearly specks to it. I think I'm gonna hide it like that for you to see. Gold specks, pearly specks, whatever you want to call it. It's the bougiest highlighter I own, and I love it. I was never a cream highlighter person. I was always a liquid highlighter person. If anyone remembers the iconic London drops, I still have them. I still use them whenever I feel like I want to get a little more glowy, like the 2016 days, so then I'm gonna put that on. This, however, is more like a recent purchase, and I love the formula. It kind of reminds me of the OG Champagne Pop, but make it a little more glittery. It's powdery enough that you won't feel like it's not going to flake off on the skin. It's just going to be super glowy and luminescent. That's the one that I would recommend you get. And then also the Dior palette. I feel like now's the time you can splurge and get this for yourself. I love this one. I also use this one in specific as a blush topper as well. So that's something I recommend for the face. Now we're gonna move on for the eyes and the lips. So we're gonna start off with the eyes. I've come up close for you to see what I typically use. I use a lot of matte eyeshadows. Recently, I have been loving the Makeup by Mario liquid eyeshadows right here. I love the shade Chestnut and Taupe. Today we did a little bit of Taupe right here, and then we went ahead with the new matte eyeshadow palette from Tatcha. I feel like the formula is something I love and I was looking for the longest time. I thought this is what Makeup by Mario is going to be. Hands on, I do love that one. But this is the one that I love. I use today on the eyes. And I'm going to attach some of the clips. I use a couple of shades and I feel like the matte eyeshadows here are the pigmented creamy shadows. Even though they're powders, for some odd reason they have this slip to it that it's like you put it on, you blend it just a little, and they're on. So that's one eyeshadow palette. I feel like if you do not have it in your list, it's something you definitely need to try. It is something that changed the game for me. I was previously using the Makeup by Mario one right here, and I do love it. It's just like you need to have more time to use these and blend these out. They're like sheer. They're meant to be layered so you can go back and forth with them and then layer them. So I do like it. If you never tried it, do try it. It comes in handy. I know a lot of people use it, but my personal choice is mix of both Mario and the Patrick one. I've recently also gotten the Hung Van Gogh palette. I love the formula in here. It's just like I need to work a little more with it. But if you are shopping for one palette that has shimmers and mattes, this is one of the best palettes that are out there for you to try. And for the price point, it is not that bad. I feel like with the sale price point, you should be coming down to $32 to $40 instead of paying a $59 price point for that. Then one of the duos for Patrick Ta, I feel like it's a must. The one that I am using right now is In Your Dreams. I feel like this is that one that I have been enjoying. I use it usually for the inner corner if I am wearing makeup. But this by itself is beautiful too. I mean, the 2016 Marsha would wear this on the face actually. But look at my camera getting deep, like losing its focus too. That's what these shimmers do. And I feel like these are the universal color because I feel like this color is it by itself. Like you can see how reflective that is. One of the other eyeshadows that you can also use for yourself are the Armani liquid eyeshadows. I have the shade Sparkle, and then this one was, I think, limited edition. This was Sparkling Tobacco. The tobacco one, the second you start spreading it out is when you start seeing its base color and sparkle. So I'm going to spread that out for you to see. So now you can see the tobacco and the shell color right here. My oily lids need powder on top for these to last, but they're super reflective and the perfect time to stock up for those considering the holidays are close. For eyebrows, I've always kept my eyebrows simple. I will use a pen if I had to define them. I will fill them with something that's a micro pencil. I love using the Merit one right here. And then if I have to fill in, I will use the Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel. This, however, the second you put it on, you will see how it changes the brow color in a matter of few seconds. You do not need pencils. You don't need more product than just one simple brow gel. Like, look at that. You have one tint on the side and you have nothing on this side. Even though I put some here, but not entirely like this one, but you can see that's something I would recommend for brow. Now for eyeliners, today I ended up using the Hung Van Gogh black eyeliner pencil here, but I typically use Makeup by Mario Perfect Brown, and I was keeping these away from all the clients, and now people have discovered them and I don't know how to cope up with that. But these are the Anastasia liquid eyeliners. These I feel like I'm gonna expose myself by saying this, but my backups have backups in case they ever run out and they choose to discontinue this, which is typical Anastasia behavior. I hope they don't do that. But these, I promise you, I put them at 7 a.m., leave from my house around 7:30, reach my workplace around 9, and from that moment on till night 8 p.m. they still look the same, and they never flake off. So these are the only liquid liners that don't stamp on top, and the same thing goes for the pencils here. They never transfer for me. That's the only reason why I have not switched out my eyeliners. Say if you like a pen, you do not like traditional water based or waterproof eyeliners, then you're not gonna like Anastasia. But if you were to consider a pen eyeliner, the Makeup by Mario one is super nice. Now we're gonna move on to lip liners and lip combos, what we put on today and what I typically use, and then setting sprays for you guys.
One thing I completely forgot was the lash curler and then mascaras. I typically use the Shiseido lash curler, and then I use the Ilia lengthening mascara paired with the House Labs. The only reason why I like to use these two together is because it ensures that my lashes are in the exact curl that I made with the Shiseido lash curler. The Ilia one especially holds the curl really well, and House Labs just makes the lashes even more pigmented if you prefer something that looks super black. The second favorite is Westman Atelier, which I do not have a clip of, but that one is one of the mascaras I recommend to my clients at Sephora.
For lip combos, I'm gonna come even more closer for you guys to see. This is my stash right here. Sorry about that. I have Makeup by Mario here. I have Smoky Pink, Almond, Rich Mauve, all my Rhode here. I use and abuse these right here. I have my Merit in Coupe. I have the Wherever Walnut, Endless Cacao, Limitless Brown, and Anywhere Caffeine. And then I have my Anastasia ones. I have Raisin, and then I have Deep Taupe. The one that we're wearing today is basically the Rhode Lip Contour in the shade Lunge. That is my favorite one. I'll tell you why. It mimics the same color as my lip. So Hailey Bieber's makeup artist is Nina Park. What she likes to do is she uses the Tom Ford Illuminate Contour Duo, and she uses that to contour the lips. Hence the concept of lip contours. You put this where you want to overline to give yourself the illusion you went to the doctor and got your lips done. You put this over here, and then you go ahead with a lip liner and you put that here where your lip line is. So this is where I've applied Wherever Walnut, and then I topped it off with the limited edition YSL Plumping Candy Glaze in the shade number 22. I love this thing. This is what I have applied here. I don't swipe it, I blot it. So that's pretty much my lip combo. Has been for a couple of days, but it's not long lasting. But is it worth it? It definitely is. Other lip combos I'm going to show you shortly. So there are a couple of lipsticks that I love. I feel like if I were to talk about glosses first and then lipsticks, I would say the Armani 06 Prisma Gloss is one of my favorites. This is the perfect taupe brown gloss you can pair with any lip liner of your choice. One of the glosses I have been enjoying is Fenty Gloss Sticks in the shade Blaze Donut and then Fussy. I do like these, but my only problem is that they don't last. You have to retouch again and again, and I'm going to show you shortly the colors, the way they look. The Blaze Donut for me is the concealer lip if I'm going for that smoky eye concealer lip kind of look. So the first color is Blaze Donut and then Fussy on me. Then if I were to show you lipsticks, I feel like I love the Dior 100 liquid lipstick, but again, it's rare for me to use this. I typically opt for lip glosses, lip balms, and then be done with them. And then this is the Dior 100. And then the other color that I enjoy and I wear is the Merit lipstick in the shade Millennial. I'll tell you why. I grew up using coral lipsticks, corally pinks, and this is exactly that. So I used that. I blotted on the lip because these are pretty sheer. I just went back and forth with the lip liner, the lipstick basically for you to see, but I don't typically use it like that. I'm just gonna blot it and it's gonna look something similar like the one that I have on. The liquid lipstick I hold till this date is Sweet Talker from Rhode. This one is like the perfect brownie pink liquid lipstick that will enhance any makeup look that you do. It's like right there. Saving the best one for last is this Givenchy lip balm. Do they call it lip balm? Shine Serum lipstick. This is the one that I have used and abused. It's my favorite lipstick that I will never put down. Plus the packaging is chic. You see the one on the bottom, but I don't wear it like that. Again, it's a lip balm, so when you will put it like that. This is for you that you can try are the ones from Lawless. They are beautiful. This one's cherry vanilla, so when you put it on like this, like, see that? How it just enhances the lip combo. And then you can see how that just looks super glossy. I do enjoy that one quite a lot. And then I do use the lip balm from Edam. I use Guava Fresca. Then for another lip balm is the Ole Henriksen one. I know we all have been collecting lip balms, but these are the ones that I enjoy. Summer Fridays and Iced Coffee. This one's my favorite. Then my other Edam lip balm is Fix Sauce. Any of the lip balms from Rhode, but personal favorites at the moment are the Jelly Bean and then the Salty Tan. So these two are the ones that I rotate. But the one gloss that I use, I recommend, is the Refy Clear lip gloss. I'll tell you why. If you have ever used MAC lip gloss and you're like, it's a little sticky when you talk, you can feel the strings or see them. This gives you the same look as a MAC lip gloss, but without it being as thick as MAC lip gloss. I'm going to apply it for you to see. Plus, it also has a fun applicator right here, so it evens out the gloss without applying too much. So you can see how that clear gloss looks. Again, it's same as MAC lip gloss. It's not going to look thick. It's not going to cling onto the lip texture, or when you talk you can see the smacky texture. No, that's not what it does. The colors are beautiful too, but for me, I feel like the clear one is enough for me to use. And if you prefer color, the color Rosewood and Blush are beautiful. Lastly, we have the setting sprays. For me, I will have limited setting sprays. I will never have 5 or 4 because I know when I reach out for setting sprays, I'm going to reach out for the one that is my favorite. Something that works in favor of the finish I am trying to achieve. So for me, when I am going for a matte, blushy, matte airbrush look, that's when I use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting spray. This is the one that I use. I'm so sorry I got confused with the names, but I love this one, and I see how everyone's now trying to enter this market that Huda introduced. But I use a mini because, again, you use very little of it. You shake it, you twist it, and then you prime it first before you use it on your face. And then when you will use it, your skin is going to look so airbrushed, so flawless. I do this one, and then lastly I use the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the best setting spray I've used. I know a lot of people will say one size. If you want to restock on that, please feel free. But this one and the Iconic London Shimmery setting spray is the one that I reach out for and I love. So this is the collection of setting spray that I would ask you to restock or try for yourself and see what you like. I do layer mine setting sprays. I will put the Huda Beauty one first and then put the Charlotte one on top, or use either. It's up to you, whatever you prefer. But Charlotte Tilbury, I feel like, is a win-win if you want to restock for the Rouge Sale. Other than makeup, these are the products that I have been loving. I first of all want to give a shout out for the Kerastase fortifying serum right here. I thought it's a scam. Let's start there. I thought my hair will never grow. My hair, whenever I would go for a haircut, I would chop it till here and they would never grow out. Whenever they grew longer, they would turn into splits. And here's my hair now. It is healthy. It is growing. So I have been enjoying that one for myself. And then I love one product that I haven't talked much about is the Gisou hair mask right here. I kid you not, my hair shines like I just popped out of a commercial. It has never been this shiny. They are dry, they are brittle, and my roots are super oily. This is the one thing that glosses my hair more than anything. But one thing that I've experienced with this, that my hair stopped falling as much as it was before. So that's that. Plus it smells divine. It literally smells like honey. I love how my hair feels right after. It's like as if I went and got like a mask or protein treatment done in my hair whenever I use this. I use this once in a week, and then when I have styled my hair like I did today, for example, I top it off with the Kerastase Elixir Ultime on top. This adds the perfect amount of shine, but more so your hair just feels more softer, more nourished. And then one thing that I've experienced with this one is that other styling oils, it would make my hair oily super fast. This one, on my third day of wash, is when I feel like, okay, you know what, I need to clean my hair. Otherwise, my hair still feels super fresh. Then for makeup removal, I have been enjoying the Cuddly Vinyl Clean for myself, because this one I feel like has a sweet almond oil in here and castor, so it melts my makeup super well. And then lastly, for perfumes, I have been enjoying the Rare Beauty. You can see the dent so far. It's like a little bit of it is left now. There you go. This is my after shower scent, and this was given to me in training, but I feel like I'm gonna personally purchase it once more. I love this perfume. I feel like it would be a steal if you were to stock up on this. It's like the cozy, caramelly, milky, sweet vanilla scent out there. However, this needs layering. Like, it's very sheer, so it's like skin scent, so it's sheer enough that if not layered well with the body cream or oil, it's just gonna evaporate. It's just gonna go. But this one is my personal favorite purchase or training product if you were to try it. And secondly, I've been enjoying the MEJ hair cloths. I feel like this is like the cutest half pony claw that you can get for yourself, and it's very festive, so you can get this for yourself this sale season. And that's pretty much it for the sale suggestions. If you guys have anything for me to purchase, please let me know in the comments down below. But these are a couple of items that I have been enjoying. Couple? I shouldn't be saying couple. It's like owning half of Sephora at home. But these are some products I have been loving them, and I've been rotating them. I rotate my blushes, I will rotate the bronzers, I will do something one way or the other. But these are some products that are my holy grails, and I feel like if you were to stock up on those, you will enjoy them too. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned, subscribe, and then like this video if you really like the stuff that I recommended, or if you feel like supporting, or if you like my content. I would really appreciate your support. So do subscribe, like, and leave in the comments down below what you're excited to try, what you have in your list. I would love to know. I love knowing other stuff about makeup, something that I don't know, or something we agree on mutually. I would love to know what you guys are buying this season, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.